At the beginning of the story, we're told that the warriors who protect Earth from supernatural forces are known as the Shaolin. Thousands of years ago, when terrifying monsters invaded the planet, every Shaolin master united to defend humanity. But among those creatures was one unstoppable beast, a monster who possessed a devastating power called the Zero Force. With that ability, it was strong enough to overpower all the Shaolin warriors combined. To defeat it, the Shaolin masters merged their powers together and created one ultimate warrior, the legendary Wind Guardian. This powerful protector finally defeated the monster and sealed it deep within the earth. And just like that, the planet was saved once again, and peace returned. From that day on, each Shaolin master passed their powers down to the next generation, ensuring Earth would always be protected from dark forces. Every Shaolin carries a special mark on their hand, a symbol that makes them easy to recognize. Then we meet a blind boy named Jang, who is running from a group of thugs. Even though Jang can't see, his hearing is incredibly sharp. He can sense exactly where his enemies are just by listening. A few moments earlier, Jang was seen selling fake Shaolin warrior stamps to little kids, telling them the stamps could turn them into real Shaolin fighters. To convince them, he even shows the special mark on his hand, and the kids instantly believe him. But suddenly, a local gang called the Firecracker Gang shows up. They demand all of Jang's money. Jang refuses. He worked hard to earn it. To scare him, the gang's leader swallows a firecracker to show off. But when it explodes in his stomach, he ends up in serious pain. Jang takes advantage of the chaos and runs. The gang chases him through the streets, and after running for a while, Jang suddenly finds himself cornered by the gang leader. With no other option, he screams out for his mom. Within seconds, his mother appears. Angry, she snaps at him. "How long am I supposed to keep protecting you? When are you going to learn to defend yourself?" She grabs Jang and starts to leave. The gang leader tries to stop them, but he's no match for her, and the two walk away safely. In the next scene, we see the leader of the Shaolin masters practicing kung fu. He gathers the other Shaolin warriors, explaining that small monsters have been appearing lately. He fears something much bigger is coming. Meanwhile, Jang and his mom arrive at a casino. His mother begins gambling. Thanks to Jang's extraordinary hearing, he can predict the upcoming numbers before they're announced. He quietly tells his mom, and she wins big. After collecting the money, she splits the winnings, but she secretly gives Jang less and keeps more for herself, assuming he won't notice because he's blind. But Jang does notice. When he confronts her, she starts complaining about her struggles in life. Jang barely listens. Instead, he drifts into memories of his childhood, when he used to play with his father. His dad would tell him stories about the Shaolin and always say that Jang was one of them because he carried the special mark on his hand. But one day, his father left Jang and his mother and never came back. Finally, after some tension, Jang's mom gives him his full share of the money. In the next scene, we're introduced to a girl named Olivia, who is speaking with a boy named David. She tells him their plan is going perfectly, and so far none of the other Shaolin warriors suspect anything. Hearing this, David reminds Olivia that they still need to find one very important item, something crucial to making their entire plan succeed. Meanwhile, Jang's mom takes all the money she won at the casino to a doctor. She begs him to restore Jang's eyesight, but the doctor refuses. He tells her clearly, Jang's vision can never be restored. Still, she refuses to give up hope. She truly believes that one day her son will see again. In the next scene, Jang begins hearing strange, mysterious sounds coming from a nearby mountain. Curious, he follows the sound. At the same time, Olivia is inside a cave in the mountains, trying to obtain a magical device. But the device is surrounded by a powerful protective barrier. Because Olivia carries an evil power known as zero energy inside her, she's unable to pass through the barrier. Just then, Jang arrives. Olivia quickly hides as Jang follows the strange sound straight to the device. Since he is connected to the Shaolin bloodline, the barrier does not stop him. He easily reaches the magical device and takes it, but Jang immediately senses that someone else is nearby. He calls out for whoever is hiding to reveal themselves. Suddenly, the cave begins collapsing. Seeing this, Olivia demands the device from Jang, but he refuses to hand it over. A fight breaks out between them, and during the struggle, Jang accidentally swallows the magical device. Moments later, he falls into a deep abyss. The next morning, Jang wakes up, and for the first time in his life, he can see. Overwhelmed with joy, he rushes toward the city to tell his mom the incredible news. But when he arrives, he's shocked. The entire city is destroyed. Suddenly, a terrifying monster appears in front of him. Jang is frozen with fear. He runs for his life, barely escaping its attacks. Just before the monster can hurt him, the Shaolin warriors arrive. Using their combined powers, they successfully capture the creature. Once the monster is contained, the frightened citizens slowly come out of hiding. Jang recognizes the Shaolin immediately. His father had told him stories about them. Believing he is one of them, Jang asks the Shaolin to show him the special mark on their hands. He's confident he shares the same symbol, but when they reveal their marks, they are completely different from his. That means Jang is not a true Shaolin warrior. The crowd begins to turn against him. They accuse him of pretending to be blind all this time and lying about being a Shaolin. Even the kids he sold fake Shaolin stamps to throw them back at him, calling him a fraud. Suddenly, the warriors realize the captured monster has escaped. Some of the Shaolin rush off to chase it, while the others stay behind to protect the city. Later, Jiang returns home, only to find it completely destroyed. His heart breaks. He fears his mother may be dead. At that moment, Olivia appears. She tells Jiang that the same monster destroyed his home, and if he gives her the magical device, she can take him to his mother. Desperate, Jiang agrees, but only on one condition. Take me to my mom first, then I'll give you the device. Olivia agrees, and the two set off together. On the way, the two Shaolin warriors who stayed behind for city protection confront them. They immediately attack Olivia. Jiang demands to know why. The Shaolin reveal the truth. Olivia carries the evil zero energy inside her. To prove it, one of the warriors places her hand above Olivia's head. Instantly, Olivia begins to transform. Her eyes turn red, and dark energy surges through her body. Losing control, Olivia attacks both warriors, injuring them badly, and then collapses unconscious. She still cannot fully control the zero power within her. Jiang picks her up and prepares to leave. The Shaolin warn him not to trust her. With zero energy inside her, she could lose control at any moment, but Jiang doesn't listen. Right now, nothing matters more to him than reaching his mother, even if it means trusting someone dangerous. As they move further ahead, Jiang and Olivia suddenly fall down into a deep underground cave. Olivia is still unconscious. Worried, Jiang tries to wake her up, even lightly slapping her face, but that only triggers the zero power inside her. Dark energy begins to surge, and she slowly rises, moving toward Jiang like she's about to attack him. Jiang desperately tries to calm her down. Slowly, Olivia begins regaining control. Struggling to stay conscious, she softly asks Jiang to tell her a sweet story, something peaceful, so she can calm down. Hearing this, Jiang makes up a beautiful story about his childhood, a version where everything was perfect. In his story, his father never left, his family was happy, and life was full of light. As Olivia listens to Jiang's gentle voice, her energy stabilizes. She returns to normal. The next morning, Jiang asks Olivia about her evil power. Olivia explains that she doesn't fully understand it herself. One day, out of nowhere, the zero force appeared inside her. She says she knows someone who can remove it, but in order to do that, she needs the magical device that Jiang swallowed. As they continue walking, they see a faint light ahead. It's the cave's exit, but blocking the doorway is what looks like a massive rock. They push it aside, only to realize it isn't a rock at all. It's the head of a giant statue worshipped by a nearby village. Since they've broken the statue's head, the villagers capture them. The villagers believe they must sacrifice Jiang and Olivia to please their god. Jiang quickly tells the village leader that they cannot kill him because he is a Shaolin warrior. To prove it, he shows the special mark on his hand, but the leader doesn't believe him. He demands proof. Confidently, Jiang strikes a nearby tree, expecting to summon a powerful windstorm, but nothing happens. Not even a single leaf moves. Thinking fast, Jiang tells the villagers that he has actually stopped the wind using his powers. Since the air truly is still at that moment, the villagers believe him. The leader then declares that only Olivia will be sacrificed, since Jiang is supposedly a Wind Shaolin. To save her, Jiang suddenly lies and says Olivia is his wife. Instead of helping, that makes things worse. The leader becomes even happier and announces that both the Wind Shaolin and his wife will be offered to the god. They are lowered into a pond, while the villagers gather around chanting, dancing, and performing a ritual. Jiang and Olivia are terrified, believing they are about to die. But then, unexpectedly, the village leader tells them to step out of the pond. Confused, Jiang asks, "Aren't you going to kill us?" The leader explains that they never actually kill anyone. When they sacrifice someone, they simply perform a ritual in the pond and then release them. That night, David contacts Olivia and asks about the magical device. Olivia tells him she doesn't have it yet, but as soon as she gets it, she will deliver it to him. We then see David's true plan. He wants to use the magical device to free the ancient monster that was sealed deep within the earth thousands of years ago by the Wind Shaolin. Meanwhile, Jiang begins feeling very sick. He keeps running to the bathroom repeatedly. When he tells Olivia, she calmly admits that she mixed medicine into his food, hoping it would force the magical device out of his stomach faster. Later, Olivia notices Jiang's small wind toy. Seeing it triggers a childhood memory. When she was younger, she used to mess with the firecracker gang for fun. One day, she threw a lit firecracker at the gang leader, but before it could hit him, Jiang tried to protect him by grabbing the burning firecracker and throwing it away. It exploded in Jiang's hand, and that's how his hand got burned. Jiang's dad tried to calm him down. To comfort his crying son, he told him a beautiful lie, that he was a Shaolin warrior, and the mark on his hand was proof of it. But the truth was much simpler. That mark wasn't a sacred symbol. It was a burn scar from the firecracker. The emotional twist? Olivia has known Jiang since childhood, but because Jiang was blind, he never recognized her. In the next scene, Olivia approaches the village leader and tells him that Jiang swallowed a strange device, and now his condition is getting worse. The leader immediately asks, "Was the device inside the cave on the high mountain?" Olivia says yes. The leader then reveals a shocking story. 13 years ago, he and some villagers went up that same mountain to collect herbs. They accidentally fell into a deep ravine, where he unknowingly released an evil monster. That monster entered his body. After that, his hunger became uncontrollable. He began eating enormous amounts of food, almost consuming the entire village's supply. At one point, he was so hungry he nearly attacked his own friends. But just before he lost control completely, a Shaolin warrior appeared. Using his powers, the warrior pulled the evil monster out of the leader's body and sealed it inside a magical device. That same device, the one Zhang swallowed. However, the battle cost the Shaolin warrior his life. To honor him, the villagers built a giant statue and began worshipping him as their protector. Zhang and Olivia decide to stay in the village for several days, waiting for the device to come out naturally. During that time, their bond grows stronger. Quietly, they begin developing feelings for each other. One day, while walking through the local market, Olivia notices a beautiful bangle. She likes it but doesn't buy it. Without telling her, Zhang secretly buys it and keeps it with him. Meanwhile, because the device is still stuck inside him, Zhang's stomach begins swelling painfully. When the village leader sees this, he suggests cutting open Zhang's stomach to remove the device. Olivia refuses. She takes Zhang away from the village before anyone can hurt him. Finally, after intense pain, Zhang feels a strong pressure, and at last, the magical device comes out naturally. Relieved, Zhang runs to Olivia. The first thing he does is show her the bangle he bought at the market, but Olivia barely looks at it. Instead, she urgently asks about the device. Zhang shows her both, and in that moment, Olivia chooses the bangle, not the device. Zhang realizes then, her feelings for him are real. Suddenly, they hear a loud explosion coming from the city. When they rush back, the city is completely destroyed. A monster appears, and then David arrives. The moment Olivia sees David, she takes the magical device from Zhang and hands it to David, telling him to leave quickly. Zhang stands there in shock. He now understands. Olivia was with him only to get the device. She never knew anything about his mother. Just then, a monster charges toward Zhang to attack him. Olivia tries to save him, but David uses his powers to pull Olivia back to his side. Before the monster can strike Zhang, another monster suddenly appears, and the two creatures begin fighting each other. Annoyed, David unleashes his power and kills both monsters effortlessly. Soon after, the Shaolin warriors arrive and attack David, but they are no match for him. David escapes with Olivia. Afterward, the Shaolin rush to inform their leader. David is clearly preparing for something much bigger. Once everyone leaves, Zhang returns to the village and apologizes to the leader. He feels responsible for bringing danger to them. He also finally admits the truth. He is not a Shaolin warrior. The leader gently responds, "It's not your fault. You didn't know Olivia was lying to you." And for the first time, Zhang begins to understand that being a hero isn't about a mark on your hand. It's about the choices you make next. Now Zhang wants revenge. He wants to stop Olivia. He wants to end all of this. So he climbs to a high mountain and uses his extraordinary hearing to track Olivia's exact location. Meanwhile, Olivia confronts David. She reminds him of his promise to remove the Zero Force from her body so she can finally be free. But David coldly tells her the truth. The Zero Force will only leave your body when you die. Hearing this, Olivia explodes with anger and charges at him. But David easily controls the zero energy inside her and slams her to the ground. She's powerless against him. At the same time, the Shaolin warriors inform their leader that David is preparing for a massive attack. The leader immediately orders all Shaolin to gather. In the next scene, Zhang reaches Olivia. Furious, he demands to know where his mother is. Olivia takes him into a hidden cave where countless monsters are imprisoned. Then she drops the truth. One of these monsters is your mother. Zhang is completely stunned. Olivia confesses everything. She was desperate to remove the Zero Force from her body, so she went to David. In exchange for freeing her, David asked her to bring him humans, people who would transform into monsters and become food for Taoity, the same ancient monster sealed thousands of years ago by the Wind Shaolin. Olivia went to many desperate people and offered them one wish, in exchange for becoming monsters, sacrifices to strengthen Taoity. She even went to Zhang's mother, and Zhang's mom agreed. In exchange for restoring Zhang's eyesight, she chose to become a monster and feed Taoity. Zhang is shattered. Suddenly, all the imprisoned monsters begin rushing toward the abyss, toward Taoity, ready to sacrifice themselves. Among them, for a brief moment, she stops. But another monster collides into her, and she falls into the abyss with the rest. Zhang breaks down, crying. He runs toward the edge to jump after her, but Olivia stops him. At that moment, David arrives. Seeing the monsters falling to feed Taoity, including Zhang's mother, he smiles in satisfaction. Then the Shaolin warriors arrive. In response, David throws the magical device into the abyss, ensuring Taoity will fully awaken and destroy the Shaolin. The warriors attack David together, but he's overwhelmingly powerful. Eventually, combining their strength, they manage to weaken him and strip away his powers. But it's too late. The ground begins to shake violently. Taoity has awakened. In the next moment, the colossal monster erupts from beneath the earth, breathing fire and unleashing destruction everywhere. Olivia, filled with rage, moves toward David to kill him, but David activates the Zero Force inside her once again. Controlled by the dark power, Olivia turns and attacks Jang instead. She doesn't want to hurt him, so in a heartbreaking decision, she stabs herself and dies. Jang is devastated. He loved her. When he sees David laughing, Jang loses control and attacks him in fury. Then, in a shocking act of desperation, Jang blinds himself, gouging out his own eyes. He believes that if his father was telling the truth, if he truly is a Shaolin, then his power will awaken to save him. He leaps off the mountain. As he falls, a brilliant light begins glowing from his body. But seconds later, he crashes down. Meanwhile, the Shaolin warriors form a massive protective shield, trying to defend the village from Taoyi, but they can't hold it for long. Taoyi shatters the shield and charges toward the village. The warriors and villagers alike realize this may be their final moment, but just when everything seems lost, Jang returns. He rises from the smoke, transformed. He is now a true Shaolin warrior. Jang creates a brand new protective shield, stronger than the one before, saving the villagers from Taoyi's fiery attack. Taoyi roars and charges at him, but Jang doesn't run. He moves forward, dodging the monster's attacks with precision. Even without his eyes, he senses everything, every movement, every breath, every vibration. Then, gathering all his awakened power, Jang unleashes a massive surge of wind energy and seals Taoyi back inside the magical device once again. Peace returns. In the next scene, we see Jang sitting with a group of small children, telling them stories about the Shaolin warriors. Suddenly, someone approaches. It's his mother. After Taoyi was sealed inside the device again, all the people who had been transformed into monsters returned to human form, including her. She gently tells Jang, "You saved the world, but you lost your eyesight." Jang smiles. "I can see the world better now than I ever could before," and he truly means it. The Shaolin leader then approaches Jang and offers him an official place among the Shaolin warriors, but Jang politely refuses. He doesn't need a title anymore. In the final scene, we see Olivia. Just like Jang's mother, she was restored after Taoyi was sealed. She's alive again, teasing a group of boys, just like she used to when she was younger. Suddenly, Jang appears behind her, and right there, the story ends. Not with darkness,